So let's see. Density, density, is a substance's mass per unit volume. An old tale states that Archimedes, Archimedes, wanted to determine whether a goldsmith was stealing King Hero's gold and using a cheap alloy to replace the gold in a wreath that was being built. Archimedes attempted to figure out how to measure the difference by displacing water. Although the story cannot be proven, there are many ways today to measure density and changes in density, as well as differences in density when different types of materials are being evaluated. Different materials such as air, water, ice, aluminium, and many more have densities that can change at different temperatures. The equation to work out density is density equals mass divided by volume. An object's density is determined by the lack of the molecules and how tight the atoms are packed together. A brick has tightly packed atoms and molecules with a lot of mass, making it high density and heavy. In comparison, styrofoam, styrofoam, has loosely packed atoms and lots of air and holes and not much mass, so it is low density and light. Density determines what will float. Objects that are lighter density than water will float, such as styrofoam. Wood, sponge, cork, and paper will float because they are low density. High density materials such as metal, concrete, concrete, or glass will sink in water because they are higher density than the water. The density of water can be changed by the addition of minerals. Density can be used to identify materials which have specific density measurements. The common way to express density is pounds per cubic foot or grams per milliliter, milliliter. It is difficult to determine the volume of an irregular shaped object, which makes it more difficult to determine that object's density. Here you can read along with me. The density of gas is difficult to measure because it can change when the pressure or temperature changes. When measuring density, it is important to know that increased pressure will increase density. When measuring density, it is also important to know that increasing the temperature will decrease the volume. Density is important when constructing buildings, airplanes, and ships because weight and weight distribution are important considerations, considerations, for safety. The energy density of some materials can be used to create power, such as that found in uranium, uranium, and thorium, thorium. 1 pound of feathers is equal in weight to 1 pound of gold. but the space needed to make up 1 pound of feathers is much greater because the feathers are less dense than gold. That makes sense, doesn't it? Hey, if I said to you, Dan, you need to collect me